It is my great pleasure to introduce the President and CEO of C2 Financial, my friend, my buddy, David Temko. David, come on up.
All right, take a look at this. C2 in rock and roll fashion, and here we are. Nothing better than getting all these familiar faces together with new faces to join us. So thanks so much. I'm excited for the day. We've got a lot to show you. So when I think about rock and roll, my favorite bands from those eras are the 80s hair metal bands. And to be honest with you, my favorite of them all is Van Halen. Well, what's not to love about an entertaining, energetic guy, frontman, named David? But David Lee Roth and Eddie Van Halen were masters of their craft, but they didn't find each other so easily. The Van Halens came from Amsterdam, Roth was from Indiana, and they all landed in Pasadena. But they played for different bands. And it wasn't for long that they had a battle of the bands and recognized each other's talents, and they joined forces, and Van Halen was created. So they never were afraid to practice. They were always playing in backyard shows, going up and down the Sunset Strip, until finally they got recognized by Warner Brothers, the record label, and they sent them on a world tour. So they opened for bands that they looked up to, but it wasn't for long that they started to headline their own shows. And I wasn't old enough to go to these shows, but if I would have, or if I could, I would have. I'm not sure if anybody here has, but something about them made me, watching these videos, I would have loved to have a suspension belt flown over all of you today. So that's them. Those guys, they rocked out. And I love their music. I listened to that music all the time when I was in college for good times. And it took me to a place that, was rebellious, was fun, and just went after it. So we have some rock star guest speakers today. I know Jay alluded to that. And, these rock stars, like I mentioned, were great independently. But when they found a band, they got better. And when they found the right record label, it took them to the next level of success. So without the label that they had, they could have been fine, but they could have just been continuously playing those shows and allowed them really to push the envelope. And I'm really impressed by how they all came together and really started to work it. So that label is kind of like a C2. So let's get to the C2 record label, our business. Well, 30 years ago, my dad, Fred, and Brian really pioneered this industry. And they made a sound that we haven't changed, but we continuously improve. So to improve that, I've touched on a few of these things before, one of which of the things that we're getting going is the mini core division. Right now we're actively doing loans, we're doing a conventional refinance and a jumbo purchase, and we're gonna start doing a lot more loans through that. So I'm excited to see that division grow. If it's something you're interested in, you think it might fit your model and you're qualified for it, then I'd love to hear from you and you can reach out to us and explore more. So there's a lot of clients that have other needs that you might not be able to facilitate. And whether it's through the agency side or through non-QM that's growing. So I've got a lot of interest in private money lending. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a private money division that you can work deals internally and really build your pipeline. People that wouldn't qualify for loans conventionally or on the non-QM side, you can come internally, we can get an assessment of the deal, understand the story, fund the loan, and so you can build your pipeline and be ready to take them out whether it's 12, 18, or 24 months. So C2 Labs, what is that? Well, I like to always have my finger on the pulse of fintech. You never know what's coming through that channel that can impact our industry, and the last thing I want is for loan officers to be as antiquated as travel agents. So we're always keeping our finger on the pulse of that. And C2 is growing. We're going to be in a lot more states. We're in 31 states now, which is incredible. Let's hear it. Super early on that. But we're in 31 states, so you can do more business for more clients in more states, and we can bring on more loan officers like yourselves in them, so we can continue to drive value to homeowners across the nation. So, but what we want to do is make sure when you close loans, we get you paid fast in those states. So we've been working tirelessly. I know Andrea has been working with a lot of our lenders that I greatly appreciate their proactivity on to get quick pay in all the states we're licensed in. Another thing that I think is really important from the platform is to deepen the relationships with the lenders we have. I recently took a trip with some LOs up to northern Los Angeles to see a lender, and it was great face-to-face. I talked to a loan officer, and they're like, I don't know what I'm doing, taking time out of my week to go, to have dinner or have a round table or whatever it is, but when that loan officer had a loan that had some nuances to it, and he sent it in, if it wouldn't have come from him and from C2, they otherwise might have turned it down, but they knew who he was, and they got the right people involved to get the deal done, and that's what matters. Well, I must say, we've been through a lot, and we've made it this far. And I'm very proud to tell you all that C2 is debt-free and stronger than ever. And I know that we're going to take on the next wave stronger than we have before and be ready for it. So, drum hell, not a rock star. But to be honest, the housing market is resilient. Prices are still strong and people are selling and making money, so there's definitely buyers out there. And we have to be in front of those buyers because there's opportunities in every market. The clients that you had before in 2020 or 2021, they're just not the clients that are in the market today. But I know you're all looking for tips, tricks, ideas, or secrets to find borrowers in this market. Well, I got something for you. I know where they are. You ready? They're at Taylor Swift concerts. If you can afford a $1,000 nosebleed ticket or a $20,000 front row ticket and travel around the world to see these shows, you can afford a 6 or 7% interest rate on your mortgage. So, I swear. Perry is a fan, so she has referrals for you. But okay, so that's where they are. You got to get creative, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to stay out front, we're going to strategize, we're going to stay active, and that's how we're constantly going to be ready for when people have needs. We're in touch with our partners, whether it's realtors, whether it's doctors, attorneys, any CPAs, whoever it is, you're out in front of them, they know you're here for them, and you made it this far. You survived, and now you're rock stars. So, well, we are the best of the best. Eddie Van Halen will certainly go down as one of the greatest guitarists of all time. And I can guarantee you there was other bands and other record labels that were calling him daily to join, but he wasn't going to leave the band with his name on it, and a record label that supported him. So I'm sure there's, when times are difficult, it's always easy to try to figure something out, and you hear calls and they're saying the right things, and the grass might seem greener, but I can tell you right now, the grass is greener where you water it. And we are watering the grass at C2 for all of you to be successful. And that comes down to trust. Trust is how relationships grow and how we will all grow together. So my dad always had a saying, and it's what you believe you can achieve. Well, there's certainly achievers in here. We have the #1 mortgage broker in California, who's the number 2 in the nation. Where's Michael Caine? Let's hear it for Michael Caine. Amazing. Michael and Tracy came from Chicago, they did loans out there, and they believe that they could be successful here in San Diego. And that's exactly what they're doing. They believe and they can achieve. We have another individual that's here, and he started in Seattle and joined a team there and decided to take his family and move to Alabama. What did C2 do? We got licensed in Alabama for him, and it was 1 year in the business. He's been 1 year in the business with a goal to be in the top 20, and he's doing it. Is David Kakish in the audience here? Yeah, David. Way to go, David. Amazing. So we have incredible people here, great loan officers, really achieving great things in a very difficult market. Entering the market now, and really things can only get better. So you made it. Let's continue rocking on. So that right there is an OG rock star on the right. And he started this. I remember going to these C2 Connects. They weren't C2 Connects then. They were conferences that he would put on when I was a kid at Marie Callender's. And it's really incredible to see the evolution of where we are today and how many people are in this room and where we can really take things. Now, it was a little over a year ago. I had a conversation with him and asked him, what did he want from me? Well, he wanted me to be fair to my sisters. And I made that promise. And those two ladies are amazing, and they're here today with my mom. But let's hear it for them. But my promise to you is to always be here to support you, to innovate, to grow, to strategize, and to continue winning together. So let's make it a great day and rock on.